Hi, Robert. Oceana here with G3 Agency with your free website audit for Legacy Concrete Inc. in Littleton, Colorado. In this free SEO website audit provided by G3 Agency, I'm going to show you 3 to 4 things that you can do to get Legacy Concrete in front of people searching for concrete services in the Littleton and Greater Denver area. So, like I said to Amy on the phone, I don't expect anything in return for this video. It is something that I'm doing because I'm passionate about small and local family-owned type businesses. And I do this professionally, so I have a good idea of what I'm talking about. If you would like help with any of these things, of course you may reach out to me, but you may do what you will with this information. So, the first thing that I always check for when I come onto a website and I do an audit like this is I look for a big click to call phone number in the corner. You do have a phone number, it's in the corner and it is click to call. I would suggest that you make this a bit bigger. I know it seems like a small silly thing, but it does make a difference to the 70% of people who are going to be on your website who are on their mobile phones. So it will make a difference when it comes to conversions. Okay, the second thing I always check is content. How many words are on the page? Are they relevant? And also, how are the pictures saved? So this is not enough words, I can tell you right now. We suggest to our clients that they have at least 3,000 words on their home page and 1,500 or more words on their other pages on their site, because Google thinks that content is king. If you have more content, more words on your page, that must mean you know more, and it must mean that you are more relevant to the searcher. And then, of course, like I said, images. So let's find an image here and see if I can right click and save image as. It might be a little bit of a challenge. Sometimes it is. These are not saved like images normally are, so okay. So this would be a good example probably. Right click here, click Save Image As, there you go. And it was this string of numbers. So what you want to do is actually save these images again, but instead of a string of numbers, this time you want to save them as different keywords, phrases that a person would type into Google when they're looking for your business. And especially ones that are actually looking for your services in your service area and phrases that are actually being typed in. And I'll show you how to find those phrases that people are actually typing into Google each month. But first, I want to take you over to the tool that I would do it in. This is Ahrefs. I love this tool. It gives us an in-depth look into how a website is performing. So here I can see your UR and DR scores, and I'll tell you what that is. So your UR score is on a scale from 0 to 100. How trustworthy does Google think that your website is? Specifically, when it's your UR score, it's for this one page, which in this case is your home page. Your DR score is the same thing, except for your entire website as a whole. So I can see you've put a little bit more work into your home page than your entire website, and that's pretty normal. And then here, how we raise that score here is with backlinks and referring domains. So a backlink, you may or may not know, is a link to your website from anywhere on the internet, and a referring domain is what website is that link on. So we have here 12 different websites pointing to your website a total of 36 times. And that's good if those websites have high scores here, and that will actually hurt you if they have low scores here. So you want to make sure that you're getting backlinks from trusted and relevant sources. And then here we have organic keywords. We can see what you're currently ranking for. It looks like you're ranking pretty good for your own name. You've got even a little bit of search volume there. You've got a fan base, so people like you. That's fantastic. But you're not showing up for a whole lot, or at least you're not showing up very highly for them. You're on the third page, third, fourth, sixth, seventh, ninth, and finally the 10th page, and then it drops off. It doesn't show you anymore at all on this tool if you don't show up on the first 10 pages. Okay, so I did a little research on other words that you might want to include so that you can actually show up for some words that are going to do you some good. So using the same tool, I clicked on Keywords Explorer and I typed in some places that you do things and then the thing that you do in those places, and I found all of these keywords. Okay, so there's two different columns that I want to show you. This one is the volume column. It's a little easier to understand. How many people typed this into Google last month? In this case, Concrete Patios Denver is my favorite one, and I'll tell you why. But it's 150 people are searching for it every month, or at least they did last month, and this generally tends to be something that fluctuates up and down, but has a steady pace for a while with a number like this. And then we have the key KD. So what KD stands for is keyword difficulty, and it is a scale from 0 to 100. How difficult does Ahrefs think it will be to show up at the front page of Google for this keyword? So a low score like 0 is great. That means there's low competition, and doing these bare minimum things are actually going to start seeing some results within not too long. Whereas a higher score like 12, 11, 17, 22, that's just going to take longer. It's going to take more effort and therefore more money to rank and start seeing a return on that investment that you put into showing up for those keywords. So they're not terrible keywords. Concrete Colorado Springs may be something you want to show up for very much. And 300 here is pretty good. But it's going to take longer to show up for that one than it will for this one, so it might be easier just to go after that 150. I use that same logic to highlight Concrete Countertops Denver, Concrete Contractor Denver, Colorado. Then you can see some here as well. So my favorite one was this Concrete Patios Denver, so I popped that in here to Google to see what I would get. Usually there's some ads up here. People generally scroll past them. And then we have the map pack. So how you end up in the map pack is a little bit different than how you end up in the organic. So how you get up here is you first want to make sure that your Google My Business listing is accurate with specifically your name, address, and phone number for the business. Because Google then takes that information and crawls the internet, the World Wide Web, and what it does is it goes out and it looks for that information elsewhere. So you want to take that name, address, and phone number exactly as it was listed on Google, and you want to put it on different directories like Yext, Yelp, CityStar, White Pages, Yellow Pages, Facebook, etc. So once you do that, you get them out on there. That's going to count as a citation, and that's going to help to boost your credibility with Google and actually help you get up into the map pack. If you end up in the top 3 for any given area, for any given keyword or key term, then you end up on here, and that is going to help you see more traffic to your site and more calls to your phone. Okay, but none of that is as exciting as ending up in this spot right here. This is what's called the #1 organic result. It is the first one after the map pack, and this people also ask if that pops up, which it seems to normally pop up nowadays. So this spot right here, though, is still getting about 30% of all the clicks that come to this page. So of the, how many was it? 150 people that come to this site, 40 to 50-ish will be clicking on this, depending, of course, on some smaller factors, but generally you see about 30%. Now, this one is a special case because the first one is a directory, Yelp, instead of being a local result. See, Google would prefer to show a local result if it finds one that it finds worthy to be in the first place. But with the first local result and the second position here, that just backs up that KD, keyword difficulty, of 0, where the competition's so low that it's not even surpassing the directories. So, but they're doing something right. they're not doing everything wrong because they are showing up on the first page. So what we do is we click on their website and we take a look. And we're wondering when we are looking at this website, what is it that they're doing right? Why is it that they're showing up on the front page and we're not? What can we copy and what can we do better than them to surpass them and end up in that first position? So first thing, of course, is their content. How many words? So I just kind of scrolled up and down taking a look at how many words they have. They definitely don't have, I can tell by just looking, they don't have that minimum of 3,000 words on their site. So if we hit that minimum, that's going to be a check in our box, right? And then we can check their images and see if they're saving them properly. And they are not. So that's another way that we can actually get ahead and might be contributing to why they're not showing up at the top. And then when I threw them in here in Ahrefs, we can see that their UR score is 10 out of 100. That's not great. Their DR score, or their score for their entire website, is much lower. Their backlinks, they've only got 2, and they're from 2 different websites. And their organic keywords, though, are pretty high, higher than would have expected. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to see what they're showing up for. We have Concrete Patios Denver. We already knew that one's a pretty good one, with 150 volume, 0 KD. This one, though, is fun. Concrete Patio Denver. That's the same thing except without the S, and that's another 70. And it's got a little bit higher KD with a 6, but that's not terribly difficult. You know, I like to go after 5 and under, but 6 is pretty close to 5. And you know, it's a scale. Denver Concrete Patios, that's another way to say that, and we've got another 20 here with a KD of 3. So you can see how it kind of starts to add up, and we can take a gander at your competition and see what it is they're doing and get some cool ideas from that. Okay, here's my information. This is the end of my presentation. So just to real quick wrap this up for you, you want to increase the content on your site, 3,000 or more words on your homepage, 1,500 or more on the other pages. You want to make sure to implement highly relevant and highly credible backlinks, as well as add citations, your name, address, and phone number to different directories in order to boost your listing to the top of maps. All right, please reach out to me if you have any questions. I would be happy to help you, and I look forward to your feedback to find out whether or not this video was clear and helpful. Thank you. Bye.